Hello everyone, and today I have one more a very interactive, beautiful chess game to show you. A notable chess game by two notable chess players. So in this chess game we have Ilya Rabinovich with the white pieces, a strong Soviet chess master and the chess champion of the Soviet Union from 1934-35. And he also won the Leningrad chess championship multiple times, a pretty prestigious chess tournament. And his opponent was Viktor Goglidze, one of the first ever strong chess masters from Georgia, and he was also a Soviet chess master, a very important chess player as well. So Ilya Rabinovich was a pretty notable player. Unfortunately, he died during the siege of Leningrad in the Second World War. He died because of malnutrition in a hospital. Sorry for the sad story. So anyway, he died in 1942. I believe. So anyway, so this chess game was played in 1939. Okay, so let's see what happened in this very exciting chess game. So we have d4, knight to f6, and we have a Nimzo-Indian defense, bishop to b4, e3, castling, pushing the pawn, knight to e2, d takes on c4, bishop takes on c4, a6, castling, c5, and in this position, the most played move, the most popular move, is knight to c6 or developing the bishop to d7. So we have c5, charging to the center, pushing the pawn, exchanging, giving up the bishop, and you can see that white has a pretty good pawn chain. So queen to c7, threatening to take the pawn, which is going to be a discovery attack to the bishop to d3, e5, and black is following his policy of pushing the pawns and not developing the pieces. So developing the knight or the bishop should have been considered. We have d takes on e5, queen takes, and then rook to b1. So white has some isolated pawns actually. Now developing the knight, knight to g3, b5, expanding from the queen side, and then pushing the pawn. And this is actually a pretty annoying move to deal with, threatening to take the pawn. So b takes on c4, but this bishop became a menacing piece, and this other bishop can also become a pretty dangerous looking piece, and both bishops is going to aim the king. So queen goes back. So you can see that white bishops are potentially going to be very effective. So developing the queen, bishop to e6, connecting the rooks and attacking the bishop. So white was attacking the knight, and you can't play something like knight to e5, queen takes rook. So x-raying the rook as well, developing the bishop, and then knight in, queen to d7, defending the queen. Black didn't want to give up the bishop, and then exchanging the bishops, and then you can see that this bishop became a very strong piece. Black doesn't have a bishop and white has a bishop, so knight to e5, attacking the knight, knight to g6, queen to g5, and black made a blunder in a difficult position. Actually white has a better position, so bishop takes knight is also possible. So we have knight to e4. Well, if h6, can you see what white can play here? Knight takes on h6, of course, that's check, capturing, and then queen takes on f6, and white is winning. So this bishop is a very strong piece. But after knight to e4, this was a blunder of epic proportions. Can you see why? But actually, the knight was the only defender of the checkmate idea in this position, which was a very good, a very beautiful checkmate idea. After, of course, the idea happened after moving the knight. The knight was the only defender. Can you see why? Because of boom goes the dynamite, queen to h6, and actually Goglidze resigned, the Georgian chess master. The possible continuation, how to defend the checkmate threat, there is no defense. If capturing the queen, knight takes on h6, checkmate. The bishop is also covering the escape square. The knight and the bishop combines perfectly, and this is checkmating the king. The king is stuck. So actually queen to h6 was the final nail on the coffin, and white had a better position. But anyway, pushing the pawn, something like this should have been considered in this position instead of moving the knight, but this was a blunder. Black basically overlooked queen to h6, so this is not working, checkmate. And if queen takes knight this time, the queen bishop combination is checkmating the king. Boom, checkmate. And if some random move, queen knight combination is checkmating the king, and usually they say that when the queen and the knight gets close to the king, they are extremely dangerous. So if something like knight to f6, again, queen knight combination is checkmating the king. So did you see queen to h6, the final nail on the coffin, a killer move? So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Take care and bye bye.